Hi everyone, I'm super excited. Today I have Miss Malvika Mulchandani with me. She's the founder of Apero by Malvika. She's also a food connoisseur. She's a chef. She's an entrepreneur. So there are like many feathers to her hat. And I'm super thrilled to do this episode with her to know a little bit about her journey and how she got into this venture. And we're going to take it from there. So welcome, Malvika, to this episode of mine. I'm super excited that you're part of this episode. And if I want to start off by asking a little bit about your early life. How was it like? Did you always want to get into the hospitality segment, or how did Apero start? Like, little bit on that, if you could brief us.
So actually, on the contrary, I was into fashion and into fashion brand management and luxury brand management. I did my master's in Milan in luxury brand management.
Okay.
So no, hospitality and food was never on the radar even as such. But I think one thing that I always really love doing is hosting people and feeding people. So there kind of came a time where I was like, now, what do you do? Like, just find something to do in a way because I speak about this and I say that at that point I had kids and I had my first child and I was pregnant with my second one and I had just had my second daughter.
Okay.
And my only priority was what can I do so I don't lose myself completely, but still be at home with the kids. So it started out as something that I was going to do at home with the kids as literally I got a dream one night. As cliche as that sounds, I was like, I was like, let me try making some cheese. And then the next day I whipped up some cheese and I gave it to friends to try. And from then to now, the only reason why I'm where I am today is because I have such wonderful people who support me
Okay.
and encourage me to take this leap. So yeah, that is kind of how Apero started. It was not as planned as anybody would like to think it was. It was just, going with an intuition and it just touch what it grew.
Oh, that's really wonderful. I think normally passion leads us to a lot of things. And, this is a passion brand of yours, which you started as a passion. And now you're one of the most successful brands in the country. So kudos to you for that. Um,
Thank you. That's really kind of you to say
my
also.
next question would be, what are the kind of challenges, people or normally when they start up a brand, a lot of challenges which they face, a lot of teething problems, what are the kind of things which you faced during your venture with Apero, and how did you overcome that?
So there were challenges at every point, I would say, from starting out initially, whether it was kind of figuring out, trying to learn on the job,
Okay.
because when you've started something, you never want to say no to work, right? But
Right.
at the same time, there's this thing like how much can you actually do comfortably, how much can you not? So there's that kind of battle without, kind of having things go the wrong way. So that was a challenge. Space was a very big challenge. And I think that is a very, very big challenge, especially in a place like Bombay. So we've moved multiple spaces in the last 1 year, but it has been a challenge finding the right kind of space and to be able to afford the kind of space that you would ideally like. So that's a challenge. Managing so many people, I think, has been my biggest challenge. There's so many people, and again, I'm so grateful for that. But there also, with people, come their emotions and how to kind of uh, push them to do better, how to incentivize them, how do you make sure that there aren't fights at the workplace every day. Simple things like because when there's so many people working together, you're going to have issues. So definitely that was an issue. Being a bootstrap company, trying to figure out how to make ends meet has, been an issue. But we're getting there and closer to the end goal every day. So there have been multiple things, and it's also been very exciting learning these things while I've tried to build the company.
Well, that's also wonderful to hear. I think it's always a big market. I think the kind of space you're into, in terms of even, like grazing tables and weddings, and there's so many occasions. I think people really look forward, to things like this, to where they can also try new things. And I've seen your menu, it's such a vast menu.
That's
So,
true, but also like maintaining a menu that vast because
yeah,
it's also such a volatile market to be in, and there are so many people out there doing such amazing work.
right.
So to be relevant is so important, but also a very big challenge. Staying relevant, staying, true to yourself while still updating the trends and moving on with the trends, moving on with people's tastes, innovating, coming up with new things. So it's something new every minute, I would say.
Okay. Also, I want to know like what are the USPs about Apero, which is different from other brands or other competitors which you look at, and how do your brand like stand out amongst the others? What are the USP qualities which you all follow?
I'm going to say this off the top of my head because just like what came to my head right now, and my team tells me this a lot as well, is like, I don't know how to say no. So while it can be a really bad thing as well, but my USP is like, if you tell me, Malvika, I want this, or anybody in the team, and I've told them this as well, we will figure out a way to do it.
Got it.
So the personalization, the touch that we provide, the making sure that every detail is taken care of, all of those things. Just never say no. Figure out how to get it done.
I think that's a wonderful attribute which you said. You can't say no to people, and that also encourages you. You want to try new things.
Yeah, it
You want to try,
pushes you to
yeah,
like,
you want to try
yeah.
different things to, satisfy their palate. So, it's always nice to experiment, I feel, experimenting.
It's really funny you say this because just a couple of days ago, I was sitting and I was setting a menu for a client who we do repeated stuff for. And I was like, okay, but what do we come up with? What do we do? What do we do? And I have these three people from my team sitting in front of me, and they're like, but you realize it's not clothes, right? You need to repeat items. You can't come up with something new.
Right.
And I can't, okay? I can't come up with something new every time. It's almost impossible. But there's always something, like change something somewhere. So the client is also excited to try something new. So yeah, that's what I try for at least.
And where do I see Apero as the brand in 5 years' time? What is your vision with the brand? What are your expansion plans? I would like to know a little bit on that as well.
It's looking like it's going into my manifestation journal a little bit. But so many things. I would ideally like to, kind of take on things across the country and not just to my state and city.
Okay.
I would like to, we're starting a bakery. I would like that to grow in a different way. You never know. Maybe we have apero somewhere where I'm feeding people across the table and they're eating my food. And that's all exciting things that we want to do. But for now, it's one season at a time.
Right.
But the end goal is definitely somewhere that I want to be everywhere.
Okay. Also, Malvika, tell me something. What, according to you, are the attributes or personality one requires or needs to possess to become a young and like a lot of young entrepreneurs want to get into this field and they want to learn and they want to know the starting steps. How can someone get into this kind of an industry? So, what are the personality attributes you feel that one needs to possess to get into this?
I'm going to tell you something. It is not for the faint-hearted.
Okay.
Okay. It is not. You really, really have to be able to one stand for many, many hours on your feet,
Okay.
and there's no concept of days. It does not end. You
Right.
work till there's work, till as many hours as you need to do it. So that's what I mean. It's not for the faint-hearted. It is you also network. So
Right.
network. And that's not just for this business, right? It's for any business across the board today. You have to be able to go out there and talk to people and not be ashamed of putting yourself and your brand out there. Because how's your brand going to get out there if you're not out there? So definitely to be able to network, to be able to work very long, very strenuous hours, and also be sensible. Like it's very hard in this business and also a lot of other businesses to kind of get sucked into it, and you have to learn to draw the line in between. Okay, this I really need, this is really going to give me something, and I'm going to be able to make this money back without killing myself, versus this is a slippery slope that I am now. And that's actually something that's really hard for me to navigate. Like I constantly need to keep myself in check. So
Okay.
um, yeah, I think those would be some of them for sure.
Okay. Also, I want to know, like today, if you want to give a direct message to the young entrepreneurs out there who's watching us today, what would be a message from your side to them? would be? You know, I want to know a nice note from your side also. What would you like to say to everyone who's watching us today?
Uh, Never say no.
Right.
And I can't reiterate that enough because really it especially when you're growing, right? Like you just do everything you can and wherever you can because that's how you're gonna get seen in more places. That's how people are gonna get more aware about you. So just do as much as you possibly can. Don't get shy or don't like shy away from work or be like, oh my God, I don't know this. How am I gonna do it? Everything can be figured out if you just want to do it,
Yeah,
basically.
I think what you said is correct. You know, I think first of all is the passion and never to say no, which you rightly said,
Yeah,
and hard work and perseverance, which I think is very
really,
important, you know, because I think that today there's no shortcuts to life, and we really need to really hustle to get to a point,
fully.
yeah, to achieve success. And I think like today, if I see, you know, what I notice, you know, between us millennials and Gen Zs of today, you know, there's a big difference, you know. So I see a lot of people in the Gen Z, especially, are looking for shortcuts and they're looking to, you know, get early
And
success, or they're looking for, you know, different ways to, you know, I would say like they basically do not have a fixed goal. They're really like,
and the drive, honestly, like I don't know if you felt this, and no offense to anybody out there, everybody is great in their own space, but it's so hard. Like you get people to come in, and then the next day they just won't turn up because they didn't feel like it. And I'm
yeah,
just like, that's what I mean by, kind of having that drive to do a little bit more and also not being for the faint hearted because it's not easy and no work and no business is easy. Nobody's coming and giving us money in our laps.
right,
We've really worked very hard to build this. So
right.
it actually requires you to show up and put in the work, basically.
And I
This
think what you also, secondly, what you said was networking, which is very important in today's time, you know, in terms of meeting people, because you never
yeah.
know which connect could connect you somewhere. So I think networking is something which is very important for any business, not only the business you're in, but I think for every business. So which you said is
Every
also,
business.
yeah, which you also said is so correct, you know, so these two things are really important. Also, I'm going to do now a little bit something fun. I'm going to play a little rapid fire round with you to know you more personally. So, and what are your likes and
My
dislikes?
coffee with Karan dreams come true on this podcast. Carry on.
So I just want to know a little bit to make it more on a lighter note. So, if you're ready, if you're ready, we're ready to go then.
Little nervous, but okay, let's do this.
Cool. So, what is Malvika's go-to food? No, which she can have 7 days a week.
Very not shocking, but cheese and meat.
Okay. Your favorite restaurant in the world, you know, where you can go like 7 days a week as well.
In the world, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, your top three. Let's pick your top three.
okay, definitely like a Zuma or a Nobu, one of those. Um, a good Italian restaurant. My most favorite has been a place in Milan called Bice,
Okay.
and I think those two. Those
Okay.
two would be my favorite cuisine.
Okay. If you have a sweet tooth, what would your favorite dessert be, whether it's Western or Indian? What would tiramisu?
Tiramisu.
Okay.
Tiramisu.
I've been noticing, you know, the amount of like the number of podcasts which I've been doing, everyone's favorite
I
dessert is tiramisu.
love
But
tiramisu.
but why
It's
is that?
so.
It's like all our coffee lovers, or
Have you eaten a really good tiramisu?
so I have eaten tiramisu, but I'm not like so fond of tiramisu. But I know that
Okay.
majority, 90%, whoever I've been.
I also really like a really good chocolate dessert, like dark chocolate, but for me, it's a very emotional connect to a tiramisu. It's just something that I love. And the I don't like overly sweet desserts. So just that, the cutting of the bitterness with the coffee and the alcohol and the sweetness and lightness of the cream. If it's done well, it has to be a good tiramisu. If it's done well, I'm
Okay. What is
gonna send you my tiramisu
what is your cheat, like if you have a cheat day, what would that one meal you'll want to really go all out in?
pizza.
Okay. So, and also want to know if like, what is your favorite holiday destination? If you would like to just unwind and just go anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. How exciting. Um, I think somewhere along the south of France.
Okay.
I love beaches,
Okay.
so I'm a secret party girl.
Okay. Nice. Okay. I also want to know, like, with your business, is it an offline model? Is it an online model, which you more concentrate on in terms of how does Apero work, in terms of
So,
logistics?
so again, touch wood, I haven't promoted Apero online anywhere. Like I haven't run any ads to date. So wherever I've reached is has been completely word of mouth. So I would say it's a mix of offline and online because you can't be relevant again today without having a online presence. My online presence is majorly Instagram. We do get a lot of orders through there, but we route them to our WhatsApp, and it's a lot of direct interaction with the customer, which is uh, another double-edged sword because scalability, right? But for now, this is what it is. It's partly offline and partly online.
Okay, so everyone watching us now, you know where if you need to order a Pero, how do you need to order it? So thank you for
Message
that.
us.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
they have a very strong Instagram presence as well. So and I want to also say, Malvika, has been such an honor and pleasure to have you in this episode, with me.
Likewise, this was a really you made this first experience very, very fun.
Yeah, so it's always also, it's nice for the next gen, whoever's, wanting to pursue something. Everyone has a passion inside. Everyone wants to do something, but they don't know where to start. And
Yeah,
how you started your journey, which is so inspiring, and it's so nice, to educate even the youngsters of today that, if you follow a right guidance, a nice path, and if you have that willpower inside you and a no die
yeah,
attitude, I would say, like
yeah.
you can achieve anything in your life. So thank you so much for sharing these
You
insights of
can
your
achieve
journey.
anything.
Yeah, it's been an
Thank you.
absolute pleasure, and hoping to see you in person real soon
Yes,
whenever I'm in Bombay. So,
likewise.
and
Likewise.
wishing Apero all the success, keep shining, and hope to see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye
See
bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.